yes, let's start for the list. Okay, so list is mutable and iterable. So what does that mean? Mutable means we can make various changes. If you know, we did string and string functions in the last lecture in the fourth session of Python. So in string was immutable. It means we cannot make changes in string once it is created. Okay, but it's not the case with list. List can be created all over again. So it means, so it overlaps with the new value of list. So if L1 equals to, let's say we have given some input, and if we are changing it, so it gets changed in the list. So we don't have to create another list. Okay, so that's the advantage of list, where it can be mutable, which means the changes can be done in the list. Okay, iterable means we can call the list as many times as we want. We can call any element of the list as many times as we want. Okay, there is no limit as such. That's why it's called mutable and iterable. So let's start typing out the code in list. L1 equals to, and yeah, in between, if you have any questions, you can simply ask me in the comment section, in the chat box. I'll try to solve it here, and if it's breaking our link, I'll try to take it in the end of today's session. So let's say L1 equals to, in square braces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da! Our list is created. We are printing L1. Just let me know if I'm going too fast so that I'll reduce my speed. So yeah, that's how we have got the list created in Python. As simple as that. We have just typed out the contents of list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the elements of list. So every content of the list is called as element. So let's take another example. This is just basic list that we have created. We just type out something as L1 equals to. And yeah, one more very important thing which I guess you all should note down, that every element in list can be of any form. So it can be a combination of integer, string, and float as well. So it means in list we can include even numbers, alphabets, characters, symbols, anything. Okay, so that's the best advantage of list, I would say. So let's say 1, 2, 3. Then I mention Python, P, or anything that you want to type up. You can type your name as well. Comma, I guess that's it. So yeah, our list has been created now. Now see, previously the elements of list were 1 to 5. Now it has been mutable. It means the list has been completely modified to another form, that is 1, 2, 3 and Python. So the contents of list has been changed completely. So yeah, so you must be thinking, now this is a list. So what's the use of list? What are the advantages of list? Or we can say, what are the functions of list that we'll be discussing today? So to know the functions of list, we simply have to do is help. Like if I say that, oh my god, I am not aware about how many functions are there in list. Actually, list is pretty smaller than the functions of string, because string was pretty huge when it comes to each function. There were almost 25 to 30 functions, and from which we covered 15 to 18 functions of list of string in our last session. In today's session, we'll try to cover almost all the functions of list because it's pretty simple. So yeah, help list dot, and I'm pressing tab button twice. Okay, so I'm pressing tab twice. So after pressing the tab button, I've got these many functions of list. So it's almost 12, which is pretty less. And I'll say control. Yeah, after pressing Control C, I've come out the list function. Okay, so we'll start working. So if you all know, I'll clear the screen by pressing Ctrl plus L. So I've cleared the screen. This is our input if you know. So I'll just do L1. Okay, it's not just actually we have not erased everything here. We have just hidden the thing. Okay, so just to make things more clear to you, I have just cleared the screen. But we can see here we have 12. So let's start with append. The function append, it's pretty simple. So here I'll first print the list. Yeah, 1 2 3 Python. Okay, so these are the contents of list. So let's append it. Append means, can anyone just tell me in the chat box what append means? Kruti, HP, Kritika, anyone? I'm waiting. What is modify? Kinda correct. It does modify the concat, exactly. Both answers are correct, to be very honest, but yeah, it's preferably concatenation, which means to add a new element in the string at the end. Okay, so it will add it in the end, which is called as appending. So it's like, you know, we do adding an element in the stack or queue. So in queue it gets added from the it keeps getting added in the end. So that's how it works, appending. So what I'll do simply is L1 dot append. Let's add some number, whatever, 34. So the number 34 has been added in the list L1. So let's print. So using upper arrows and lower arrows, we can simply get whatever, you know, whatever questions we have, I'm sorry, whatever code lines we have solved earlier. So after, yeah. So see, list has got appended. It means 34 number has been added in the end. That's the first function. Now let's do inserting. L1 dot insert. Pretty simple actually. Appending, inserting, removing, deleting. It's very easy when it comes to Python. If you all remember, the same thing we used to do in C, C++, Java. It used to take minimum of 8 to 10 lines of code, and to, you know, write down the uh, whole code and to get it executed. There also we could get some errors, but it's not the case in Python. It's just a 2 to 3 line thing. Because in Python, for this append thing also, like just for this one word append, the whole code has been created inside the system. So it works in the background. So when we type out append, the complete code runs in Python, which actually has been made in C by Van Rossum. So this append is consist of whole bunch of lines of codes in C actually. So yeah, insert, I'm sorry, insert, let's say we want to insert something after 3. So here we have got 3 here. So 3 is here in the list. Okay, so to insert something after 3, we'll mention it as 3 and cyberfrat, let's say. And again, print L1. So see, cyberfrat has been, so to insert something in the list, that too in the middle, okay, not in the middle, that wherever I want, we just need to give the previous number that we want, where we have to insert previous element of the list, and it gets inserted at the same place. Okay, let's try something else. We'll again insert just cyber in the position 2. See, it has come after 2, cyber, as simple as that. So append is done, insert is done. Let's print out something as element equals to, what should I mention? My name, let's say. You all can mention your own. Element equals to Rutuja. Print type of See, it's the class of string. So Rutuja, the input we have put here, given here, it's in the form of string. Let's say we mention um, NUM equals to 5, print time of, print type of NUM. See, class integer. So here the type of input that we have mentioned, it is integer. So if we all got to know some input and whose type we don't know, so we can get it using just this one line of code. Moving on to the next thing, let's do L1 dot insert at 3, comma. Just check out what am I doing here, okay? So here, what I have done is, this was the modified list of L1. Okay, so this was the list L1 and element was Rutuja here that we have taken. Now I'm inserting the value of element, and here you can take element as anything, not just Rutuja. You can take another list of 1, 2, 3 or any number or anything, and you can insert it in this. So here I'm inserting 3, inserting the element that is Rutuja in this string now. I'm sorry, in the list. Print L1. See, Rutuja has been added. Now you must be wondering why this has been added before 3. Okay, because here 3, 2, or even 1, where is 1? Okay, it's gone. So yeah, 3, 2, these all number indicates the index of the list. Okay, so here for 1, this whole is the complete list where 1, 2, Cyber, Rutuja, 3, Cyberflat, Python, and 34 are the elements of list. Okay, 1 has index of 0. So in Python, the indexing start with 0. Even it is the same in C. So here the indexing has been started here at 0. So for 1, the index is 0. For 2, it's 1. For Cyber is 3. For Rutuja is 4. For 3, it's 5. For Cyberfrat, it's 6, and so on and so forth. Okay. So here we are inserting it at 3. It means we are inserting it at the index of 3. So here 0, 1, 2, 3. And at the index of 3, the value of element has been inserted. I hope you're getting this. If just mention yes if you're getting this concept. Okay, glad to know that. Okay, Kushang has also joined. Let me check how many newcomers have been joined today. All right. So yeah, moving on to the next thing we'll do here is print 11 of 2. I just hope everyone is typing out with me simultaneously. Cyber. So this indicates that we are mentioning or we are printing the index of the list. Okay, so here print L1 of 2 means the value of index 2 will get printed here and we'll get to know. So whatever value you want to know from the list, if you mention something which is not here. So here the size of list is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you mention something as 9, okay, so the size of list is not here. See, list index up. So here the index of list, the range of list is from 0 to 7. And hence, okay. And hence it won't be, we won't get the value of index as an output because it is not mentioned here. I hope everyone is getting. Let's move to the next thing, which is swapping. So swapping means, if, as we all know, value of something gets transferred into something else and so on and so forth. So let's say we have inputs A1 equals to 5, A2 equals to 10. Then we shuffle it generally by taking a third input as A3. So we put value of A1 into A3 A3 into A2 and A2 into A1. Okay, so those many lines of code we have to write down when it comes to other programming languages. But you want to know how it works in Python? So just start typing out. Let's say n1 equals to 10. Okay, I'll just clear the line, clear the screen. So it's, yeah, n1 equals to 10. Just a sec. Yeah, enter. N2 equals to 20. Okay, now what we are gonna do is we are just going to swap n1 and n2. Boom, that's it. Just in 3 lines, we have got the swapping of 2 numbers. Now let's print n1, which is 20, and print n2, which is 10. As simple as that. So we have done swapping just in 3 lines in Python, which would have taken 7 to 8 to 10 lines when it comes to other programming languages. Let's do something else. N1 equals to 10, N2 equals to 20, N3 equals to 30, and N4 equals to 40. Yeah. Now what we are simply going to do here is N1, N2, N3, comma N4 equals to N4, comma N3, comma N2, comma N1. So we are simply swapping the list, the elements of list in completely opposite way. So that's it. Now let's print N1, comma N2, I'm sorry, N2, comma N3, comma N4. So yeah, printing can be also done in the same way, or I can say we can concatenate the outputs or the inputs in printing also. So while we are printing out something, if you want the output not just line by line, here we have got it line by line. To get it all together, we can simply do this and boom. So value of n1 is 40, n2 is 30, n3 is 20, and n4 is 10. That's called swapping, which is pretty simple. Let's do something else. So I hope you all have learned sets in algebra. So here, if we want to convert a list into set, it's pretty simple. So you must be wondering what's the use of set, which I'll be discussing in tomorrow's session, which is tuples, and even the further sessions, that is dictionaries. So dictionaries consist of various sets. So there we will be discussing what's the use of set. But to convert, as of now, I'll just tell you to convert list into set. We'll do it in following format. S1 equals to set of L1 and print S1. Boom. So here you can see this was the input we have L1. Okay. Don't get confused with this. This is N1. Okay. And this was the value of list L1, as we all know, but it used to be in curly braces. Okay, I'm sorry, square braces. But as you can see here, the curly braces, it means it has been converted into the set. Okay, or it's in the form of dictionaries now. So we'll be discussing about dictionaries in detailed format in the upcoming sessions. Now let's do pushing and popping. Okay, pushing we have done already. Pushing means in short inserting. So we have already done insert and append. Now let's do popping. So L1 dot pop. Let's say we have to pop Rutuja. str object cannot be, oh, I'm sorry, as an integer. Yes, got it. Let's take a list first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you must be wondering what was the error earlier. I mentioned the list, which was a combination of all strings and integers all together. But to give you in simpler format, I'll just discuss it in this way, and later on we can continue using strings and other types of lists. L1 equals to this. Let's pop L1 dot pop. let's say I want to pop 5. Now let's take the previous example, which we had. The whole list. Our list was pretty combined. Let's take this 1, 2, 3 and Python. Okay. Print L1. Oh. Prompt L1. No. Print L1. So here the contents of list is 1, 2, 3 and Python. So what if we want to pop Python? Pop means it excludes the last element in the list. So L1 dot pop. We were not supposed to mention anything like any number, because popping means excluding the last element. So here I was not supposed to mention Rutuja. Okay. Even if I would have just mentioned the braces, we would have got the value. So here Python has popped out. Now let's print L1. So here the value of L1 has been modified to 1, 2, 3 and Python has been popped out. Okay, and it's opposite of append. So just note it down. Python, pop means it's opposite of append. In append, we get the element inserted in the end, whereas in popping, we get the last element popping out. Now let's remove something. L1 dot remove. I'll just modify the list. This list seems pretty small. So let's modify it. And L1 equals to anything that you want, 58, blah, 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 blah. And any number that you want. Okay, let's put some good name, cyberfrat. And let's say you must be observing here that I'm taking it in single quotes and double quotes. So it doesn't matter whatever input you're taking in the form of string. It works in both the ways, single quotes as well as here cyberfrat is taken in double quotes, A as taken in single quotes. Anything works, not an issue. Okay, I have modified the list in this way. So this is the updated list we have got. Let's pop out something. I'm sorry, let's remove something. REMOVE. So let's say I want to remove whatever number you want, 9 from here. So I'm removing 9. Print L1. See, 9 has been removed from this list, as you all can see. Okay, so removing is again the opposite of inserting. In inserting, if you all, as you all must be remembering, we just did it a few minutes back. Inserting means we can insert it at anywhere, wherever we want, and removing means from wherever we want to extract the element. So we just need to give the name of element and we'll get it extracted from the whole list. Now, what if you want to remove something from the particular index? It means, if you all know, here the index of list is given as, for 58, the index is 0, for 43, it's 1, for cyberfrat, it's 2, and for A, it's 3. What if I want to remove something which is on the index 2, which means cyberfrat? So if I don't know what's there on the element, and can we get recorded webinar? Yes, Priyansh, don't worry. Even if you are missing something out, you will get the recorded webinar, provided that you are a cyberfrat plus member. So make sure you are. So you will get all the sessions done till the date recorded, and you can practice it out anytime, anywhere you want. So, yep, where were we? Okay, yeah, removing particular index. So, okay, welcome. Val, let's say I'm taking a value of L1. Yeah, value of L1 as 3. L1 dot remove val print L1. What I've simply done here is value of L1. L1 of 3. I have mentioned it in val. Okay, so it means whatever value of index 3, that is A, has been come under val. Okay, so the value of val is A. Okay, and we are removing L1 dot remove. So it's in same way, but instead of removing the index directly, we are removing it in the form of val. Okay, so just a two-step thing. But if you have given a code in any competitive programming exam that you're applying, and if you get there that you need to remove an element from the list which is at the index of 7, let's say. So, and if you don't know what number has been saved in 7, or what is the input saved in 7, so there you can use this in pretty simpler way. Here we have given the value of element which is at the index 3 at val. So simply removing val from the list, we get it in this way: 58, 43, cyberfrat. See, A has been removed. A at the index of 3 has been removed from here. Let's do the next thing. Now I'll explain you what is the difference between popping and copying. So sounds pretty weird, but it's pretty simple. Before that, I'll tell you one more method to do this popping. Okay, so let's get the list. Okay, this was the list which we have created, if you all remember, just about. List has been modified like this, okay, right now. So that's why I have to take the previous elements of list. So that's why I'm typing it out once again. Now let's do for element, or you can put anything, not necessary. So see, Python is pretty simpler to understand. You don't have to mention element particularly. You can mention I, A, B, C, D for list, or for list in L1. But here, just to let you all know, for element in L1 means for every element in the list, we have entered in for loop. So as we all know, we do go for by the indentation in Python. So indentation means we'll have to press tab. So we have entered in for loop. It means if element equals to whatever name we want to give. Let's say A. Double tap. It means now we have entered in if loop as well. L1 dot remove element, element, tab, tab, and now let's print L1. See, A has been removed. So this is another way. Let's say if you have a huge number of lists, so there you don't know what's the size of list, there you can use this in this way. So these are nothing but various ways to extract the data from the list, or to eliminate the numbers or elements in the list. So yeah, let's do now popping and the copying. So I'll clear the screen for your better understanding. N will equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basic example that we have taken. Value, I'm sorry. Let's do L2 equals to L1. So what we have done here is nothing but, just hold for a sec. Yeah, what we have done here is nothing but we have copied the element from string, from the list L1 to L2. So now the element of L2 is same. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just show you. So L1 dot pop. So here from list L1, 5 has been popped out. So let's print L1. L1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because we have popped out 5 from L1. Now let's print L2. It's again 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here when we when we simply copy the contents of the list from L1 to L2, whatever changes we are making in L1 will be implemented in L2 as well. Okay, now let's do something else. What if you want I'm sorry, what if you want to print a list where the modified list won't get affected to the previous list. It means, what if we are taking an input as of L1 as 1 2 3 4 5 and L2 as again 1 2 3 4 5, and if we are making changes in L1, but it should not be implemented in L2 as well. What if we want it like this? So here L1 is creating, L2 is creating a dummy copy of L2. So whatever changes we are making in L1 will be implemented in L2 as well. But what if we don't want these changes to be implemented in two different strings? So let's do that thing as well. So let's take L1 as 1 2 3 4 5 again, and we'll do L2 equals to L1 dot copy. So yeah, keep in mind we are doing the copy function of Python, of list of Python right now. So yeah, so list L1 has been copied in L2 now. Okay, now L1 is 1 2 3 4 5, L2 is 1 2 3. Okay, print L2 built-in method copy list object. Okay, this indicates that the value of list has been saved in L2. So the element has been saved in L2. So to print L2, what we simply have to do is L2 equals to L1 dot copy. If I'm not wrong, let's give it a try. Yeah. Now if I print L2, see. So what this simply indicated was, this thing simply indicated was a list of elements of list L1 are copied into L2. Okay, but as we are not taken here curly braces, that means as we have not mentioned the proper location of input, it has shown us that the list L2 has been stored at this location. Okay, and later on, as we mentioned the square braces, round braces, we have got to know the exact size. So it means that Python code has been entered in this particular location and the output has been extracted here. I hope you're getting it. Pretty simple. So let's do the same thing which we have done here, L1.pop. Here we will do L1.pop. So it means we are popping out one element from L1. So 5 has been popped out. So print L1, it's 1 2 3 4, and let's print L2. See, that's the difference. Now you all can see in this whole set of code. So if you want to make changes in two lists simultaneously, we can do L2 equals to L1 equals to L3 equals to L4, whatever number of inputs of list you want. You can take it up to infinite number, and every change that has been made in one list will get implemented or indicated in all rest all lists. But if you do copying of the list, the changes that has been made in original list will not be implemented in the rest all list. Okay, so that's the advantage of lists in Python. So let's do slicing now. Pretty simpler thing. As you all know, the elements of L2 are this. Okay, so just keep it in mind. Now L2 equals to L1 of 0, or we can do it vice versa, as we have less numbers in L1. L1 equals to L2. I hope those who have attended previous session, I guess Kushang has attended the last session where we did slicing of strings. So slicing of list is the same, and I'll explain to you, don't worry. Okay, and let's print L1 now. So as you all know, the list, the elements of list L1 were 1, 2, 3, 4, and the elements of list L2 were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what I have done is I have modified the list L1 equals to L2. So you must be wondering, this is same like this. Okay, but it's not, because I have taken this from 0 to 2. It means it will take inputs from the list. The elements will be from the index of 0 to 2 minus 1. As we all know in Python, the range starts from 0 to n minus 1, because it doesn't initiate it from 1 to 100. Okay, so if you want to take inputs from first 100 natural numbers, which means 1, 2, 3, 4 till 100. So we'll have to take it in the form of 0 to 101. it means it will start at 0 and it will give us input, or even 1. If you are taking it 1 to 100, so we'll have to mention the starting point as 1 and up to 101. Okay, that means it's taking 1 to n minus 1, where n is 100, 101. So it will print the range from 1 to 100. Okay, so here 0 to 2 means 1 and 2. See, first two elements of L2, which are from the index of 0 and 1, that has printed here. Okay, I hope everyone is getting just a quick yes if you all are understanding everything that I am explaining to you, and if it's understandable for you all. So just mention yes, yes, yes in your chat box. Yes. Okay, great to know that. So I hope everyone is getting it. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So we have done slicing right now. Yes, Ruchita, you're also getting, glad to know that. So let's do the next thing. Control, what's happening? Okay, yeah. Control L, I've cleared the screen, which has not been cleared actually, but yeah, it's a delusion. So let's do the next thing. What if I want to extend the elements of list? Okay, so it's pretty interesting thing now. Let's say L2 equals to A, B, C. Okay, this is the list L2. And L1, for your information, let's print L1 first, which was I guess 1 and 2. Okay, so here modified L1 was 1 and 2, so I don't have to mention it here once again. So I'll simply write out L1 dot extend L2, and now see the magic. Print L1. See, as simple as that. So it means it kind of like appending the list, but in appending we get just one element appended to the list. So here if you want to merge two lists, in short the concatenation of two lists, which gets done in this. Okay, so as simple as that. If you want to merge the contents of two lists, we just have to do L1.extend L2, which means here L1 will come first because we have mentioned L1 first here. If you wanted to extend the list in such a way that we want contents of L1 first, then we'll have to mention L2.extend of L1. So hence list of the elements of L2 will get added first, and which will get appended with the contents of L1. Okay, so we have extended the list in this way. Now let's do something different. L1 dot insert. Let's say I want to insert something at the index 0, which means here instead of 1, I have something before 1. So it's as simple as writing, and I have to insert nothing but the list L2. I want this list to be inserted at the index of 0 in L1. Okay, so it means our output has to be like in square braces ABC. The square brace gets completed. So ABC here is complete one, becomes complete one element, which is followed by this list of L1, that is 1 to ABC, so on and so forth. Okay, now let's print. Print L1. See, here L2, list L2 becomes the first element, second element is 1, third element is 2, and so on and so forth. And if you want to add something, add it as element. Okay, if we want to concatenate the elements of two lists, we follow extend. And if you want to add one list in the other as an element, we go for inserting. Okay, just by giving the name of index, the index where we want to add it. Okay, pretty simple. Let's say if you want to remove something, as we all have seen, removing has been done from the end especially, or from the first side. Let's say if you want to remove something from the end, So let's try that. L1 equals to L1 of 0. Here the list is pretty huge, okay, and I want to reduce last two elements, okay. What we generally do is we remove first two elements as we have seen earlier. What if I want to uh, remove the last two elements, which can be mentioned in this way? Last two or whichever number, how many, it's up to you, how many elements in list that you want to exclude from the modified list. You can print it in whichever way you want. C. B and C has been excluded from the list here. What if I want to do something different in Python, in the list of Python? So we'll go to the next thing now, which is sorting. So the main point of sorting that I like 2D array. Exactly, Kushang, it works same as 2D array. So I guess you were not present when I started the session at the beginning. So as I mentioned that arrays are not required in Python. As we all know, there are many things which are not included in Python because what Van Rossum, the founder of Python, felt that this array is not required because the same work of array can be done in list. Okay, so there is no need of introducing some other term which is arrays. List can do the same function, the same work of arrays. So that's why he didn't introduce another term as array. So list is nothing but array in Python. So going on to the next thing, why? Kushang is asking why or yes. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay, thanks. Yeah, cool. So moving on to the next thing, which is sorting. So sorting occurs in Python in pretty simpler way, but in Python or in list, sorting can be done only for the same data type. So as we all can see, list consists of different data types. That is, characters, string, floats, integers, everything. Okay, but for sorting, we need to have same kind of uh, uh, elements of list. It's obvious, okay? If you want to sort A to Z, and if we include A 1, 2, 3 there, how we are going to sort it? Okay, so for sorting, we need the elements to be in the same form of data types. Okay, so it's, let's say we have got random elements from 1 to 10, that is 2, 4, 1, 3, something like that. And sorting means to get it in ascending order, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it can be done in following format. Let's take num or something different than with num. ALPHA alpha equals to, as we are taking alphabets, so B, comma, Q, comma, A, comma, T. So I guess enough. Yeah. So here are the elements of alphabet. Okay, list alphabet, and we want to arrange it in the ascending order. So we just have to do alpha, ALPHA dot SORT. Boom. So the list has been sorted now in the background. And what if we want to see the sorted list? We'll simply type out print alpha. That's it, A, B, Q, T. The list has been sorted out. Similarly, it works for the numbers. So let's try for numbers. Let's say blah, 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 something randomly. Okay. And again, do the same thing. Num dot sort. Remember the sorting algorithm we used to do in C, C++, or even Java. So for C, I remember I wrote a huge bunch of code just to sort the elements of list. But in Python, it is done in just single line. So that's the main advantage of Python, I would say. So it makes it pretty simple for us to, analyze the system and to work with the system. So you must be wondering, what's the big deal? Okay, but when it comes to huge codes, or when it comes to what I can say, various applications of Python, it plays an important role because it takes pretty less time of execution and pretty less time of the memory also. So that's why it becomes easy for people to, which is better, Java or Python, ma'am? Ma'am, it is completely, if I do Python, so I do machine learning. So yeah, Priyansh, Python, I would again suggest Python because for machine learning and even for data science nowadays and machine learning, Python is playing very important role. So people are literally moving from Java to Python, as you can see. You can search it on, you can Google it, search it on any media, that how Python is taking next step and going, working better than Java. Also, there is another language, Kotlin, which is getting replaced uh, from Java. Okay, so that thing is also working, but as of now, I would suggest go for Python. Java is better in its case, Python is better in its cases. But when you compare to both, Python is pretty easy to understand, and it's simultaneously, if you are learning this language, it simply do adds build up your confidence. So if you are learning Java after 5 session, I don't think you will be as confident as you are after learning Python. So Python mainly builds your confidence. So to write the code, and it becomes very easy for you to code when it comes to Python. So let's do the sorting now. Num.sort, and let's print the num. Boom, list has been sorted. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. One more function. So we have almost covered 7 to 8 functions, so 4 are remaining. So the ninth one is L1 dot, or let's say num dot clear. We are having number as the latest list. Num dot clear. It does nothing but clears the element of list. So print num. Boom. Whole elements, all the elements of list have been cleared now. And what if I want to delete the whole list? Let's say the alpha is the list here, and I want to delete the whole list alpha. So we just have to delete ALPHA. So alpha is the name of list, and we are deleting it. Boom. So alpha list has been deleted. Now let's try to print alpha. Boom. There is an error because what if we add integer and string in the list of sorting? Give it a try, Kruti. I mean, I guess it would work, or it might give an error, because generally sorting is done for the similar kind of data types. It's a basic logic. Okay, but let's give it a try. For alphanumeric, we have another thing. Let's say if we have list like 1A, 2B, something like that. So further, there is different concept which I'll be covering in the next session. For that, we'll have to use functions and all these things. You can give it a try, like for while practicing at home, you can experiment with Python by doing this. So that's a pretty good question. As of now, we should not run behind the time. So that's the reason I won't be covering it, but you can give it a try and just let me know what's the answer you've got, whether it's working or whether it's giving an error. So let's give it a try for that also. For alphanumeric, there is pretty different concept, which we'll be covering in the upcoming session. So don't worry for it. But even you can try as of now for alphanumeric as well. The del function is same for all data types. Yes, it is same, obviously. Okay, thanks. Shruti, but you just try. Okay, I want to see your answer. So we'll discuss it at the end of today's session. So yeah, del function is same as all data types. It means it deleting the particular thing that we have in Python. Okay, nothing else. So we have deleted alpha. Okay, so we are getting error that alpha is not defined, because previously alpha was list and now there is nothing as alpha in Python. So that's it. Now moving to the next part, which is pretty interesting, which is called comprehension. List comprehension, which is the last topic of today's session. So yeah, if this gets covered before time, I'll surely take this question of Kriti. So yeah, let's clear the screen. List comprehension. Can anyone tell me what comprehension is in the chat box? ASAP. Just type it out what you mean by comprehension, if anyone knows? What is comprehension? I hope no one is Googling. Anyone knows, or at least put yes or no so that I can go further. If you know, mention yes or mention what do you understand by the term comprehension, or simply mention no if you don't know what it is. To summarize, actually, in a way, yeah. So as we know, comprehension means in our English language, comprehension means we get a whole bunch of what I can say paragraphs from where we have to sort the answers and do the further things as required. Same thing happens with list. Okay, comprehension meant to extract the particular thing we want from list. So all the functions that we have learned till the date, it's giving type error if we sort a list which contains both string. Exactly, I told you it might give you an error. Okay, so that's obvious because as I told you, it's already defined in Python, it's already given in Python that sorting is done for same data types, and for different data types we'll have to write a whole new bunch of code, and which actually Van Rossum felt which is not required. That's why he didn't create it, because it's not the thing which we require on daily basis. Okay, we generally sort the data types of same, the list of same data types. So for sorting the list which includes various data types, we really need to write a code, which is today's assignment. I can do it, and I'll be doing it in the upcoming session when we move on to the functions and everything. So they're using function, it will be very easy to what I can say, uh, to sort the list of different data types. We'll be covering it. But as of now, if any one of you can get it for by tomorrow, because tomorrow also at 7 we have session for tuples. So before that, if anyone gets it, I promise I'll give you something from Cyberfriend. Okay, so you have an opportunity to win something very special if you answer this question, which is how to sort a list which contains both integers and string or alphabets. Okay, so if any one of you is able to get the answer of this question, I will definitely give you something. Don't worry, you will definitely get something online, most probably. Okay, so yeah, I expect the answer from your side for this whole question that we raised, Ram. Anyway, so comprehension means okay, done. Yeah, that's the spirit, Rishita. Glad to know that. So yeah, again, moving on to the main point. Okay, great, Kushal. I hope I'll get the answer from tomorrow in tomorrow's session, and the answer has to be most feasible. Okay, so if two are have answered it and one is more feasible than the other, one is taking less space and time than the other, then whichever is taking less complexity will get the award, whatever it could be. I'll have to discuss it with the others. Okay, what we can offer to you. But yeah, I like the spirit. I hope you will get the answer, or if you don't, we'll discuss it in further session, so don't worry about it. So comprehension means what we generally get in our other programming I'm sorry, in normal English. As we all know, Python is pretty similar to the basic English that we learn, be it for loop, if loop, anything in Python. So that's the same thing in comprehension. So we extract the output. Okay, so by reading the whole question. So here list comprehension meant in the whole set of list, we extract what we want from the list. Okay, whatever we apply some particular algorithms or particular requirements to the list, and we extract the output. It's nothing but list comprehension. Okay, so you must be thinking, what's the need of list comprehension? Okay, so if we want, let's say, let's give it a try. I'll explain it to you simultaneously, so make sure you're tapping it out with me. Yeah, let's say L1 equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, L2 equals to, I'm doing the comprehension now, just look at it very seriously. In L1, you must be wondering what the hell is this. We have done nothing but X means element. Okay, an element for an element in L1. So every element in the list. Okay. So here X means 1 first, then once as we have entered in for loop. Okay. Imagine the same code if we were supposed to write in normal or the typical for loop, it would have been for X in L1. Do this, do this, as in the further steps, print L1, then X equals to X plus 1, and so on and so forth to get the whole list. Okay. So, but if you want to take this whole list as L2, one by one, we can do it as X for X in L1, which means all the elements, for every element in L1, it gets implemented or it gets copied in L2. So let's print L2. See, the whole list of L1 has been copied or implemented in L2 as well. You must be wondering that why we didn't do L2 equals to L1. For this, it's obvious. We can even go for L2 equals to L1 to get the whole set of code, set of output. But the next thing I'm going to do is, what if I want to take all the odd numbers from this list? Okay. Just imagine if we do L2 equals to L1, and what we will be doing next. Okay, we'll just have to write the same code for L1, for XL L1. And the next thing, if X mod 2 equals to 0, which means, which means we are printing the odd numbers. Okay. If you want to get this done in just one line, follow the thing I'm doing. Okay. So to get an odd number, what we will do here is, X for X in L1, if X mod 2 is not equal to 0, as we want odd numbers. Okay. If X mod 2 means everything which is divided by 2, every element of X, it should not give reminder as 0. Okay. So that's why X mod 2, if it's equal to 0, it means it's even number because it's get divided by 2. Here we are mentioning X mod 2 not equals to 0 means the answer is not 0 when we are dividing it by 0. The remainder is not 0. Okay. So hence when we are dividing it by 2. Yeah. So let's print L2 1357. Okay. These are the lists. So this is the list of all odd numbers in the list L2. Okay. Now, what if we want the even numbers to be printed as even? Okay, let's give that a try. See, this whole thing, okay, this whole output would have taken 5 to 6 lines. Okay, when we, even if we try to type it out in Python, list comprehension works in such a way that we have got the code just in one line. So that's why comprehension is so important in Python, and so it's precious in Python, I would say. X, if X, so it's just basic English. If you all can see X, that means for all X of L2, if X 1 mod 2 is not equals to 0, else, if we are just printing if else statement here. Okay, so this thing might sound tricky to you as of now, but I want you all to practice on this. If you are recording, if you are Plus members, you will get the recorded session, so you can repetitively listen it and practice it. But if you are not, just make sure you are putting this down to practice on the list comprehension thing. But at first, as I remember, I didn't even get it when I was learning it for the first time, but it's pretty simple, don't worry. So X, if, so this is the condition, if this equals to 0, print X. Okay, this means this. If X mod 2 is not equal to 0, we have to print the value of X, that is the integer's value. Else print even for X in L1. So rest all X in L1 will get modified or will get changed as even. Now let's print L2. See, 1, then even 3, then even 5, then even 7, then even. Okay, as simple as that. So you can modify the list in whichever way you want by applying whatever conditions you want using list comprehension. As simple and as interesting like that. So let's say, remember the way we used to print the whole set of code just to mention the first 100 natural numbers in a list. So given an example, let's say we have got a question like print first 100 natural numbers in the list. So remember the kind of code you used to write it in C or Java, and in Python is just one line thing, trust me. So let's say num, I'll not clear the screen because this whole thing is list comprehension. So if you want, you can compare it, or you can, understand it using the above examples in basic way. For num x, for x in range. This is nothing but for loop. Those who have attended previous session or those who have not, nothing to worry. It's as simple as for x in range of 1 to 101. I'll explain it to you, don't worry. Uh-oh. Yeah. Now let's print now. Okay, I'll explain it to you what I have simply done here. So as you all can see, we have taken for loop. So for loop, we generally take it for element in the range. X means every element in the range of 1 to 101. We have taken the initial number as 1. So the list will start from 1 and it will go till, not till 101, it will go till 100, because in Python, anything, be it list or be it string or any form of list, any form of data type even. So in Python, whenever we take a range, okay, from let's say 1 to n, okay, so the value we will get will be 1 to n minus 1. So keep this in mind, and I have explained this in very detail while explaining to you the all kinds of loops that I took in, I guess in third session I completed it. So we completed that time for loop, while loop. Do while loop is not there in Python, which is not required. So it's really simple. I've explained to you how to convert for into while into for, everything. We covered if else, if elif statements. So there also I explained to you how it works, how this range thing works. So we have simply, as of now, you can just understand is we have taken list ranging from 1 to 100, and 101 means the list will get printed from 1 to n minus 1, that is 100. Print num, boom, 1 2 3 4 blah 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 till 100, as simple as that. Now if you want to make any changes in the list, what if you want to, in the whole list, what if you want to type out first like what I can say, all the even numbers from the list of first 100 numbers? Can anyone just tell me? I'll be telling you, but can anyone just tell me in this given list, what if we have to type the even numbers from 1 to 100? Write a program to type even numbers from 1 to 100 using list comprehension. Can anyone tell me? Okay, can you explain the code of Quicksort program using Python? Yeah, Priyansh, Quicksort is nothing but sorting. Okay, so sorting means we just have to mention whatever input that you have, the name of list dot sort, will get it in the form of sorted way. So you must be wondering what sorting method Python would be using. So it's all the best sorting method Python uses in the form of, and you must be wondering that what kind of sorting it uses, or what kind of program it runs to get it in the single line. So generally what happens is, inside or behind the word sort in Python, we get, using n by 2, we can get all even numbers, n mod 2. Yeah, exactly, Priyansh. So I was explaining about the sorting thing first. So yeah, Behind the word sort, a whole bunch of code written in C is installed in the C. Why do you think we have to install Python from web? Okay, because Python has various packets where for every function or for every kind, the post has been already created using C. So whatever we see here is nothing but a bunch of code written in C that simply gets implemented in one line when we apply it in Python. So that's the beauty of Python. And if you want to know how it works in Quicksort or any particular merge sort, bubble sort, anything, that is not a part of what I can say our syllabus. If you want, we can, extend the sessions of Python. This is 12 session training of Python, which is very basic, which could be understood by everyone. So if you want this additional details, as I told in previous sessions also, if you want Python for data science, AI, whatever, we can extend or we can have the whole new set of sessions of Python training for these various things. Okay. So yeah, L2 equals to X for X in num if X mod 2 equal to 0. Okay, Ruchita, this thing is right. Even Priyansh is saying it in pretty like similar way. It's right. But what if I want to take first 100 inputs from user also? Like I want it to happen in this way. Can you just explain how it works? Like see, here we had input of this. Okay, X for X, we mention it in this way. So let's give it a try what you said. N2 equals to, I bet if this works, your confidence is gonna boost up like anything. Okay, so you will be like, okay, I am able to write code in Python. If X mod 2 equals to 0. Let's give this a try. I'm damn sure this is gonna work. Oops. Provided I type out the right syntax. Lol. Okay. Print PR. Boom. Exactly. That's how it works. To get odd numbers, we just have to mention exclamatory mark instead of first equals to sign here. So yeah, that's how easy the Python is. I just hope everyone has enjoyed today's session and learned something new about Python today. And I am expecting a huge number of students next time. So this session has been made free for normal, even for the normal Cyberfract members. I mean, you don't have to pay anything to attend the sessions live.